issue with pastors is loneliness. And that loneliness comes because many of them serve in single staff churches. And so they don't have the friends on staff that often they can talk about. Sometimes when you're going through something, you just need somebody to talk to besides your wife who is in ministry. And that's why we're completely revising pastors.com. The pastors.com website had one primary purpose, was providing resources for well over 20 years. But we're actually changing. We took all the resources off and put it on another site. We're changing it into a social network where there is privacy and the pastors can talk with each other. We came up with about a dozen major developments. And I didn't really announce them all here because I didn't want to announce them in advance, but we've got a dozen major developments that we're doing for pastors that are a direct result of the pastor said this and we said, we heard you. And the pastor said this, we said, we heard you. And they said this, and the areas, I'll give you the areas. It had to do with small groups. It had to do with handling personal pressure. It had to do with resolving conflict. It had to do with expanding their ministry beyond their community. It had to do with developing a systematic leadership training, and a lot of things like that.
So by and large, overall, at the end of the day, are you encouraged or discouraged by the state of the church 2008?
Well, I'm very encouraged because of what I know is going to happen. Often there's they talk about the quiet before the storm. Well, it also works the other way, that after a storm, there's a quiet period. And I think that, I think a lot of pastors that I've talked to really felt that in the last few years, their church got hijacked by politics. And they're going, okay, now here's a voice, here's a movement that we could say is going to pull us back into what we should supposed to be doing all along. Things that the people have always expected the church to do. Care for the sick, the poor, the uneducated, the things that Jesus did. And the answer, we believe, is not in politics. The answer is in the church.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Warren. This is just like to open up to anybody here that has a question, and I'm going to ask one of my colleagues back there to take this mic for because we have the internet audience. One of you guys can take this mic, and if you'll ask a question into the mic, and we just ask please also that you state your name and affiliation before asking the question. Thank you.